Rain International presents Unapologetic Podcast.
And back to the steps to about getting over an ex, because Wendy said, cry and then, Wendy said, cry and get a haircut. Go get
yourself a new hairstyle. Make yourself feel better.
I'm going to tell y'all the best advice, because here's the thing. Right now in my life, and everybody that is listening, I'm sure knows, what I've gone through is a breakup in the past 4 months. 4 months now, because I broke up back in February. And it was the hardest thing I had to go through in my life. Because I wouldn't say hardest thing in my whole life, but the emotions for 3 months is not comparable to anything else.
Right.
When you truly love someone and you go through a heartbreak like that, I went through the toughest heartbreak.
Yeah.
I never went through that. Like, for some reason, even with someone I was with for 8 years, like, the heartbreak, I'm not gonna lie, like, it was extremely hard to go through.
Right.
And I realized for me, like, the best steps, and I kind of categorized everything a little bit more. I went a little bit more into detail, and I categorized things into, like, 3 different steps. First step is finding yourself, in my opinion. Now, finding yourself is not just, because the reality is when you get broken up with, or you break up with someone, or y'all mutually, whatever the case is, find yourself, meaning you're still going to be sad about it, right? Mm-hmm. You can't just say, snap, I don't have feelings, they're gone.
Yeah.
Find yourself, meaning start just doing things that you like. Whether it's redoing your house and redecorating your house, because these are the steps I took. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be raw and authentic with people listening. Mm-hmm. I decided that when that happened, that I was going to do everything that I wanted to do in terms of whether it was focusing more on my kids, whether it was redoing my house to get a new feel and not feel like those same feels, or whether it was going to the gym and getting with your mental health, whether it was making sure you focus on work and do that, or going out and socializing and meeting new friends, or go on dates or not go on dates. Because personally, me, I wasn't like, I couldn't sleep with anybody after that shit.
Yeah.
So finding yourself, right? Figuring out the things that you like doing alone. It could be reading a book at night when you're sitting on the couch by yourself. It could be laying in bed all night. It could be watching fucking Sex in the City for fucking 48 hours, doing nothing but be depressed. And like Wendy said, it could be crying. It could be...
Well, I mean, I'm not just going to be like crying. That's what I mean. Like watching
it could be whatever you want.
Being in your feelings. Yeah. I'm going to be in bed, maybe for like a day, a night,
Finding yourself is letting all emotions come out. And that's why I categorize it into one thing. And then the next step to me is then moving on. Because eventually now you're finding yourself, you're doing your things, you're continuing, you're going to therapy, you're continuing your daily activities by yourself. Yeah. The next step to me is moving on. You get to the point where like, okay, you still think about that person.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, I think about my ex every day. I don't think there's been a day that I've not thought about my ex. And that's being real. It's being 100. Mm-hmm. But just because you think about that person doesn't mean that you still haven't moved on. Right. Like, you have. Like, I personally feel like...
I mean, I still think about some exes, too. If, like, a memory comes up, if I see something that reminds me of them, like, I'm going to remember those times and what we had, but I'm not... I moved on, like...
So that's the next step for me, is move... Stop. Don't start. Is move on. So the next step for me, so it's finding yourself, moving on, and then the third step for me, the word that I kind of categorized it to would be I hate y'all. Why I always I'm so stupid. I like literally I have my thoughts together.
Yo, is it that much hard work to pick the book up to you?
You over here grabbing the mic?
Why are you going all the way down to the couch when you could pick the fucking book up, bro? What the fuck?
Yo, pick that shit up.
God damn.
Listen, the third step is do better. Everybody listening?
Mm-hmm.
Do better. Find yourself, move on, do better. Mm-hmm. And when I say do better, guys, do better can be anything for anybody. Do better can be, even if you decide to get back with your ex, because you think after what you went through and you decided like maybe you were wrong or this and that, get back with your ex or not, or don't, or move the fuck on and do better. Continuing doing better at your job, at collecting money, doing better at staying consistent with the things that you found yourself with. And that's what I mean.
Yeah.
When I say do better, I'm just being like, oh, get with someone cuter and get someone that got more money.
I think of it more like focus on yourself, like focus on your ambitions. What aspirations did you have that you couldn't see while in the relationship? You know,
Exactly.
go chase that shit, you know?
Remember how we did the other episode and y'all was like, communication is key? Mm-hmm. This one, therapy is a thing.
Therapy is a thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I love that you keep referencing therapy, though, because it really, I think that's...
I mean, it really ties into everything we spoke about today.
Because it really, Jay, though, but it's like, but you saying that, like, you gonna have a lot of people, like, respecting that, because it might sound for me, but people will look at me like you're a little biased because I'm on the feminine side sometimes, and I'm a man, and I'm also, like, you know,
And
whatever.
me personally, like, I'm a woman, I'm emotional, so it's like, I feel like I'm most likely to want to go into that.
Nah,
that's different.
You want to know what? Listen, again, we created this podcast. We call it Unapologetic because there are things that, like you said, people think but they don't say. That's what this is about, right?
Yeah.
I've been through plenty of shit in life. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of shit with me. I know that therapy would help me, right? But I do so much, and it's not an excuse. I do so much. It's like, honestly, I don't have the time for it, but I know I should
Make the time.
You know what I'm saying? I should make the time, right?
Do you think it'll make a difference for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I really do, because
I feel like
the person who I am today is solely because of the shit that I went through before, right? And I'm not the type of person to harp on shit from the past, but
Jay,
I know there's a lot of dudes out there like me.
So do you think that? So I think what you're.
I love you.
I feel like what you're trying to say. Are you saying that maybe because of what you went through in the past is how you react now, and now you want to react differently?
Not
wouldn't
so
say that.
much.
I think Jay
but what I'm
just
saying is, and I'm gonna say new father. My boy is he'll be 6 in December. But what I'm saying is, when you go through something so epic like becoming a parent, let's say, right? You start to reevaluate who you are, because you want to be
better,
that perfect person for your kid, right? So, but how much can I really reevaluate myself if I didn't take care of the shit that was with me? I just know all the shit that I went through, I took it and turned it into something good, no matter what I had to get through to get to that point. Like, I'm good now. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I got a house, I got cars, family, the whole nine, right? But the fuel to my fire to get to this point was all the shit that I've been through. So my fear now is, all right, when is that going to overflow? And does it overflow to my kid? So my fear of doing something detrimental to my son indirectly is making me think like, maybe I just should go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Just to tweak certain shit, just to see if anything. I don't know.
That's where it starts, though. Like it really is. Like you're breaking that. You know, you went through some shit when you were younger. And, you know, it's breaking that generational shit that happened, and you know, not having the same patterns that you went through happen with your kid. You know.
Right. So you know, life is funny, man. It could work. It could work either way for you. You know what I'm saying? Mine is just kind of funny style. So.
Well, y'all looking at me now. I love how y'all both look at me when it's like, okay, y'all both feel like you're saying too much. I'm just soaking in this moment.
No, I don't think you're saying too much at all. I feel like maybe he thinks he's saying too much.
He's real black over there, but he's blushing.
Yeah,
I love it. That's what this is about. No, Jane, you listen. That's what this shit is. I gotta stop moving. I always do that. I'm fine with the mic the whole time. That's what this shit is about. And that's what this shit is about, is being yourself, being honest. And at the end of the day, Jay, that is just so relatable in so many ways to so many men out there that are listening to
Right.
this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it is so important as a person to just take care of anything. And if anybody that ever thinks about going to a therapist, just go to it to explore. You never know what avenue it's going to go through. It doesn't mean you have to share every detail.
Right.
You go, you just find out yourself, you figure out things, and it's just like, you know, you just find yourself on a journey.
I just say give it a chance. You don't have anything to lose, really.
Facts.
anything to lose. So shout out to that. So listen,
Shout out to that, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in therapy. Shout out to everybody that is thinking about going to therapy. If you are thinking about going to therapy, go ahead and do it. You did everything else on your bucket list. Go to therapy. Talk to somebody that doesn't know you or the other party. Right. Get that shit out, and you know, hopefully everything goes in your way, and you figure some shit out, and you can move on with life and have a good time.
Because 2022, we just growing.
Let's go.
What? Let's get the fuck out of here, bitch. Follow us on motherfucking Rain International Unapologetic Podcast. Sorry, I know I shouldn't have said that, but that's just coming to the Rain Unapologetic Podcast. Shout us out. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Elite Visionary 2 Y's. Y'all know the deal. Let's go. The Only Matt 88. And we got Wendy JC. Give it up to her. And
with
that's it. No, we'll see y'all next time, guys. Please check out that video of the 20 questions and the 40 questions with us. It's so much fun. It's quick to listen to. It'll make you laugh. Love y'all.
Bye.
Rain International presents Unapologetic Podcast.